Hello there, people of the internet. Two things. First things first, YouTube reviewer, which I'm sure is going to be watching this video. How you doing? I hope you're having a good day. This right here is a semi-automatic rifle, not a machine gun. This rifle is in full compliance with YouTube's community guidelines, and the magazine is a 20-round magazine, also in full compliance with YouTube's community guidelines. I've only got 10 rounds in it though. I'm a small-time channel. Ammunition is expensive. That's just something I deal with. Now, that being said, hello there, people of the internet. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. I was out at the gun range the other day with a buddy of mine, and we were just, shooting and enjoying our time at the range, and, just doing what dudes do at the range, right? We were looking for targets to blow up, like, hey, this would be really cool if we shot it with a 308 or something like that, or, oh, God, look, I have an old pumpkin back here, and it was a good time. Long story short, it was a good time. But one of the things I had done was I broke out an AR platform that had an optic on it like this. It also had iron sights on it, like this. This is my Delton DTI 15. You guys have seen this on the channel plenty of times, but I had an AR that had an optic and iron sights on it like this. And my buddy was like looking at it, and he wasn't really sure how to comprehend it. And that's whenever, I came up with the idea or the realization, hey, I'm an absolute avid gun nut and my buddy is not. He might not have any idea about an iron sight setup on a firearm that has an optic on it. And I figured to myself, hey, I have this YouTube channel and I've got people who are gun nuts on it, but then I also have a lot of new people on it, and maybe these new people have never even thought of the concept of having iron sights on a firearm that has an optic on it. Now, the biggest reason why you would want iron sights on a firearm that has an optic on it, or the biggest reason why you want an optic in general, is just because the optic is a lot easier to use than trying to line up iron sights. Oftentimes, whenever I'm teaching people how to shoot, I will go to a rifle that has an optic on it, and it's just a little red dot. And I tell them all you do, you shoulder your rifle. I teach them all the fundamentals of all that, but whenever it comes to actually aiming down your sight, I tell them you just look through the little piece of glass, and wherever that dot is, that's where the bullet goes. And it really helps people learn how to shoot effectively, and then we move on to iron sights, and then you learn how to line them up and then line up with your target and whatnot. Long story short, the optic is definitely a much easier solution than running a rifle with iron sights. So why the hell would you want iron sights in your rifle if you have an optic? Well, this optic right here is a budget optic. I just got it off of eBay. It's definitely not a very expensive option, not a very practical or useful option. I would definitely not trust my life to it, and it has a wandering zero, but it will serve the purposes for this video. So let's say you have an optic like this, and I don't know, you bump it, or it's foggy outside, or the battery dies, or the little O-ring that keeps it quote-unquote waterproof or water resistant, let's say that is broken or frayed or something, and some water gets in there, shorts it out. There's a million things that could cause an optic to go down. This isn't like a rifle scope. A rifle scope has an actual physical piece of material that it uses to have a reticule that you can use to aim down, your sights and put rounds down on target. This right here is a red dot, which is basically a little reflected piece of light, and if the light turns off, then the freaking red dot is no longer any good. And if you don't have that red dot, I mean, you can kind of like point and shoot your AR, but you're not going to be very accurate, especially at any real distance ranges. So if that red dot goes down, or whatever electric optic you're using goes down, then you can go ahead and flip up your iron sights. This way you can just use your iron sights, look right through that red dot, which is currently off. Look right through that red dot, and you'll be able to make your shots on target without having a red dot to worry about. That's a good solution if the red dot goes down, but there's a lot of issues that comes with that, and I saw them several times whenever I was doing something like this. If your red dot is down, like I remember one time my battery in one of the freaking several budget red dots that I had, battery was dead, I didn't know it, brought it down to the range, tried turning it on, hey, battery's dead, we don't have a backup, that's fine, iron sights. Well, while I was aiming down my sights at the range, it wasn't dark outside, but it was starting to get dark, and the platform we were shooting at had a light on it. and the light was reflecting off of the glass on the red dot. It was reflecting off the rifle, and I could not see through the glass of the red dot to save my ever-loving life. So although I had iron sights to be able to peek through that red dot and put shots down range on target, I could not see through the glass on the red dot. A lot of times people actually have like 45-degree canted iron sights, so they can go ahead and just look completely past the red dot, or they'll have a canted red dot and use that at 45 degrees. But it's a good solution so you don't have to look through the glass of the red dot in the event that you're in a situation where you just can't see through the glass of the red dot. Having 45-degree canted iron sights is definitely a good practical option for a situation like that. Obviously, these are not canted. These right here, just the iron sights that I threw on this Delton, you would have to look through your red dot right here in order to line up your sights. But since I'm in Florida and since I'm not going to really use this thing past the range, that's not really going to be a problem here, especially considering that it's a sunny day in Florida. So if I'm out here and I'm using my red dot, or in this particular case, I've got a little green dot on it. Doesn't matter what color it is, hey, it's still going to work. I'm out here and I'm shooting at the range. And I don't know, while I'm out here shooting, freaking Kevin flies overhead and his Talon takes out the freaking lens on this thing. Oh no, red dot is down. Red dot's no longer working. I just turned it off, so now we know it's no longer on. I can go ahead, just flip up the iron sights just like this, aim through the red dot, and make shots. And I can still hit my target even though my red dot is not active. It's definitely a good solution, and for the most part it's something that people who actually think about firearms, you know, it's something that we would actually think about. But there's plenty of people out there who are not necessarily gun nuts like perhaps you and I are, who do not think about something like that. And I got a buddy of mine who has just a red dot on his rifle, and we actually took it out to a range day, and the red dot was not working for one reason or another. And because it wasn't working, he wasn't able to use his rifle because he didn't have any iron sights to go with the rifle. So that would have been a good solution there. Now, anytime somebody's running iron sights with a red dot, I always recommend that they go with folding sights so you can fold them out of the way. I actually have a buddy of mine who has a folding rear sight on his AR, and he has like a Sig Sauer red dot ACOG sight. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but he has a standing M16 style front sight that does not fold down. So anytime you're aiming through that red dot, trying to aim down at target, you have this freaking front sight post in the way. And it's not really that big of a deal, but I have noticed there was times where I was trying to hit, you know, targets at a distance where a red dot would have really come in handy, or trying to hit smaller targets or something where that fixed rear sight just gets in the way. So have a setup where your sights actually fold down, and you can go ahead, see right through your red dot, put rounds down on range, and if you need them, you can flip them up and you have them good to go. Hopefully this helps some people out. Like I said, I'm sure the people watching this particular video will already have basically known everything that I've just said. But in the event that somebody who is new to guns comes across this, hopefully this helps you out. I do appreciate you stopping by. That being said, hey folks, thanks for watching. I do appreciate your time. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more. Description down below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go ahead and go check that out. I actually have some stuff on the stove right now that I'm really hoping is not catching on fire. And I'm hoping that what I'm seeing in the distance is just a lovely haze versus smoke. I don't smell any burning. But I am going to go check on that. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. Kind of a short-ish video this time, but it was still a fun time to make.
Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.